Hello everybody, my name is Benji, and welcome back to Dyson Sphere program, Rise of the Dark Fog. Now, if you missed the stream that I did to kick off this beautiful update, it is as a part of this very playlist. It is part 1, and I'll show you what all we did. That's kind of going to be the first part of today's episode. But I am super excited to be making a series about this update and be playing Dyson Sphere program again in general. The opening menu simulation here and the opening menu music here for the update is just phenomenal. Just phenomenal. But we're gonna go on ahead and we're gonna move on from that. We're gonna load into our save. And you'll see that we actually made it rather far in the first sort of stream of everything here. So I have a couple of blueprints that are available via the previous playthrough, and there are some bugs that I have found in it, some things that I did wrong with it, but they're pretty simple fixes if you know what you're looking for, and I of course built it, so I know what I'm looking for. But if you have any issues, you can just look at the stream and see what I did to help fix it and modify things as we kind of went along here. So this is my nice explosive weapon damage level 1. This is my jumpstart maul. I have a whole bunch of different tiers. They all just kind of get sandwiched in together. Kind of added tip to tail like you're doing vector math. But that's a little bit beside the point here. It also seems to be a little bit louder than it was yesterday. I'm wondering if there's something with today's patch that ended up making that happen. So we'll go on ahead and turn that down a little bit for you guys. So this Jumpstart Mall has a smelting section for all of our default materials and whatnot. Looks like I placed this one wrong, actually, possibly. But anyway, it also makes us our green chips and our copper magnets, and also I added in this little ammunition thing. This usually is not here. But I wanted some ammunition to automatically supply some Gauss turrets while we're moving around here. We make belts, we make all the things, we make wind turbines, smelters. I added in this because this was not a thing, so we have Gauss turrets. And then down here, of course, we have mining machines, we have matrix labs, we have thermal power plants. These two are going to eventually be tier 2 belts. That's why there's a belt assembler here, and tier 2 sorters, of course, water extractors. And then we have our wonderful, I forget what these are called, wireless power towers, and our oil supply and everything else, which I'm going to go on ahead and grab a few of, because that is the first order of business for today. You can also see we've got Gauss turrets set up all over the place. There's some new fuel and some proliferation that has been set up over here, which is very nice to have. And then down over this way is our separate power grid for our matrix labs and for our science supply. We made it the entirety of the way through everything that is exclusively blue science. Nothing else takes only blue science. Everything else takes red science from here on out, as well as blue science. Including everything here as well takes red and blue science. It is no longer simply blue science. So we made it the whole way through blue science, which is very, very nice. And then, of course, we are playing with the Dark Fog enabled. So if we take a look at our map here, we can see...
In the planet view...
Shush, I know.
In the planet view...
Stop. We can see that the Dark Fog is, in fact, expanding. And this is new. High energy laser tower. This is not new. But it looks like... Oh, I see. These are raiders. And these are rangers. Oh. So they are growing. And they do have more units. And of course we are leveling up our threat. Threat is directly proportional to energy expenses, apparently. So the more energy that we expend throughout the entirety of the planet, the more that adds to the planetary basis threat level, until eventually they send some units at us, which is why we have turrets all over the place, making sure that we are nice and well covered, so that we don't end up, you know, dying. And then, of course, if we go into the solar system viewer, we can see the hive here is in a high polar orbit. I believe it's quite literally a 90-degree pure polar orbit. And that is because of the fact that it is monitoring the entirety of this system and providing that monitoring to the entirety of the system. If we look at the other planets, you can see this one actually has 3 bases now. It used to only have 2. So that has expanded since the last time I looked at it. And this one still has 1, which is very nice. I'm quite happy that that one only has 1. But we do have to start to be a little bit wary of that threat overall. And we have some things to help us with that. Number 1, we have some extra units that we can have as deployments. And there's a whole bunch of squadrons and stuff that we can do a little bit later in time. But for now, that's kind of all we have, is that and then a personal Gauss turret and some energy shielding. And then eventually down the line, if we take a look at the tree again, there's like precision drones, which are a little bit more complicated. There's attack drones, and then eventually we can go into space fleet stuff with the Corvettes, which is absolutely bonkers. We can take the battle to space, which I did not think was something we'd be able to do until a future update. So that's kind of nice. So I think that pretty much wraps up everything that we did last time, which brings us into what the heck are we going to do this time? Well, the first order of business for what we want to do this time is actually going to be setting up red science. So right now we have blue science, and blue science has served us well, but it is time to begin on the red science production line. And that starts, of course, with adding some things to our jumpstart science. Of course, I have up through tier 4 at the moment. Tier 9 literally just adds on to what we currently have. Go on ahead and hit yes. Or at least it's supposed to. I don't exactly know why it didn't. It's supposed to add on all of the belts and stuff that we want. So, like, that one, that one, that one. And then if we work our way backwards here into tier 8, we can see that we have our 2 inputs, and then we have our 1 output here. But of course, there's a whole bunch of things in the way, and it's also divided by a tropic line. And it also looks like it has the oil inputs on the side there. And which way do those oil inputs end up going? So the oil's coming in from the one side. I'm quite confused because it's been so long since I've actually used these blueprints that I don't actually know entirely how these blueprints work anymore. It has literally just been that long since I've used these blueprints. And it looks like the oil's over here, so I very much enjoy keeping the oil processing closer to that side. So if we take a look here, these obviously have some, like, belty things going on. So I'm going to put that over there, actually. That way we can just take a look at it all and see what the heck is going on here. So if we go back into here and go for tier... So this says half hydrogen, 6 oil, 6 byproduct refined oil out, used for plastic or sulfuric acid. Most likely going to graphene. Energetic graphite for red cubes. So if I take a look at the energetic graphite for red cubes, like maybe that's supposed to be here. Because this is making the red cubes.
You've built your first power transmission.
Shush. I have this is not my first power transmission tower. I've built plenty of these. So this oil comes up, or this hydrogen comes up, and then this oil goes that way. And it's got an oil inbound line. So let me grab tier 6 here and see if I can decipher which one this is. This is probably this, if I had to guess.
This facility produces very...
I know what it does. What is wrong with you? So yeah, it looks like the hydrogen is on the low belt, and then the other one is on the high belt. And that was tier 6. Right? Was that tier 6 or was that tier 7? I think they're basically the same. Let me grab tier 6 and put it down. Yeah, no, okay, so tier... This is definitely tier 6. And then if we grab tier 7... They are, in fact, identical. Well, okay. That's fine, then. And then I think I am right in that case, then.
A matrix?
Stop. Because this is tier 8. And then tier 5 will just go right there. Okay. Well, that solves that issue, then. We know where everything goes. So now that I figured that out, let's actually go and let's build the darn thing. I definitely am gonna want it to be built a little bit differently then. Because tier 8, the oil goes alongside it. And there's definitely not enough space right here for this. Like if I were to put this here where it's supposed to go, it directly intersects with the copper line. But instead, if I were to place it, it's over top of a tropic. So that's a bit of a shame. Really, the best place for it is over here. The issue is that there is like no oil. Hello, dark fog. That would definitely be too far. I want to reserve this space for the second tier of the Jumpstart Mall, which is going to be next episode. So I'm thinking maybe then... no, because that'll intersect with the graphene, or the graphites. I could probably do it here. This probably wouldn't be a bad idea. I think that oil is still going to intersect with the graphene. Can't do it on the tropic line. That's the thing that sucks. Is I certainly can't do it on the tropic line. We are at 90% threat, by the way, so we are going to have an attack very imminent. Very, very imminently. Let's put it up here. Right there. Then we can get rid of some of these guys. And for now, we'll just do tier 6. We won't worry about tier 7. Collide with other object. Of course, I have to get rid of that. Because we're not going to have enough oil throughput to actually do this anyway. Nor are we going to have enough oil processing ability in order to do the stuff with the light oil. What's going on here? I've researched plasma refining. Maybe they just didn't have a recipe set? Oh, shush, too far. And now we just have to build the darn thing, which is gonna take forever because my bots are super slow. I'm gonna want some more matrix labs. I'm gonna want some more belts. Grab some more inserters while I'm at it. Come on, guys, get back in. Thank you. That should probably do us just fine. And then in terms of the actual oil, take a look at my resource veins here. So we've got crude oil here, here, and here. I think these will probably be the 3 that we grab. Because this one has some copper next to it. I can harvest some ammunition from that and defend both of these. And then, of course, I have the ammunition being processed on site here that I can just kind of stretch the belt a little bit and get it to defend a little bit more here. I think that's probably a good idea overall. And then, of course, we're going to have to take this belt and run it the entirety of the way. Yeah, because this is the graphene line. The only thing that we need to make sure of here is that this is actually outputting properly, and that this endpoint is horizontal. What are you talking about? There we go. Okay, that decided to be a little bit funky there. Make sure all of these outputs are good. See, that's the kind of bug I'm talking about when I say, like, that the system has some... The blueprints that I have designed have some bugs. It's because of the fact that they do, in fact, have some bugs. Unfortunately enough. So just be careful of stuff like that whenever you're using my blueprints.
A wind turbine.
I have not done my first power grid. I don't know why he keeps doing that. He's been annoying me very, very much recently. I'm trying to pad for the dark fog. Oh, of course, that's just barely intersecting with the coal node. That's fine, I won't be able to supply the whole thing anyway. So I'll just go on ahead and get rid of this, this, and this.
You've built an arc smelter.
I have built arc smelters before. That guy's really been getting on my nerves. So I think I'm gonna go on ahead and pause, even though we're so close to the threat. I think I am just gonna pause it real quick. And then as soon as the threat goes off, I will show you what it looks like when they come attack. And they're on their way. So, first of all, I just realized that my, my music audio is going to be a little bit funky because I left the game music audio on instead of doing what I normally do. So I am sorry for that. Second of all, that will be fixed next time. Third of all, looks like that guy was coming in for a bit of a hot arrival there. Not letting that happen. These guys are going for the main hub, but the main hub is pretty well defended, all in all. And these guys are coming here to me for the science. So we have a double-pronged assault coming in. Yep, so there they go. And those guys are getting demolished. And those guys are getting demolished. Very, very nice. 6 more units incoming. Where? Where the heck are the other 6? Oh, here they are. Why did they take the long way? And there we go. That is the Dark Fog. So that one was actually quite a bit. Oh, we got some plant fuel, some magnets, some copper. That's nice. We did, in fact, get quite a bit of units that time around. Usually we don't get quite as many units as that coming and attacking us. But that is because of the fact that the Dark Fog upgrades over time. You can see that the base level is level 0 with 55 experience. That is because of the fact that they have actually been able to land some hits on us. The more units that we destroy, the more that they level up. I don't know how to repair things. How do I repair? Oh, cool, I just stand here and then they repair over time. Okay, well that's nice. I genuinely did not know that. These are the things that you learn over time with the new mechanics and the new Dark Fog and everything like that. Which, let me just tell you right now, I am absolutely loving this. And it's so similar to Factorio and Biters and the evolution of it all. I am a huge fan. Huge fan. I'm absolutely loving it. So now that the Dark Fog is finished, I'm going to go on ahead and finish up the blueprinting here. Make sure that everything is in its tip-top shape. Go get the oil, set up the ammunition belts, and then I will bring it back in for all of you lovely people to see what it looks like when red science is turned on. And the first red science cubes that we will do are probably going to end up being not titanium, not that. That would probably be good. High-speed assembling would probably be good. Not really deuterium. Not really that. That's yellow science. X-ray cracking. X-ray cracking is fantastic. So is reformed refine. Reformed refine is also amazing. Hydrogen fuel rod will probably be good. And then I can do that kind of stuff later. Magnetic levitation is going to be very nice. I don't know what the signal tower does, so that's something we'll figure out later. And then logistics 2 and drones. Drones are probably going to be our next big hot topic point of contention. So yeah, now that all that's done, I'm going to go construct things, and I'll be back. Time for the last belt to get connected. Oil, this lovely little gelatinous oil substance, is going to go right in, and then I have to finish making the ammo belt. Right now, we're just going to store all of the light oil, because I don't really know what else to do with it. But as we can see, hydrogen is in fact operating. So perfect. That is the first energy matrix at a little over 3 hours into the playthrough. Which is quite nice in my opinion. That's not that long. Oh, apparently I also need to finish the belt that feeds it into the labs. Oops. Oh, I thought I had all that finished. So something that I hope isn't affecting the audio at all is the fact that the game is still using 99% of my graphics card. And short of doing my max frame rate at 30 frames per second, which wouldn't be terrible, I have nothing else that I can do to fix it. I've turned down the planetary blur. I don't really want to turn off the cloud particles, if I'm being honest. I like the cloud particles. I tried messing with this, I tried messing with this, I tried messing with VSync, and none of it really does anything. So, I am really hoping that that's not messing up the audio, and if it is, I do terribly apologize. But I think there is a graphics card upgrade coming in my future at this point. And look at that, we have our red and our blue cubes being utilized in the Matrix labs. Absolutely love that. Ammunition is being restored, which is all perfect. This is all covered. Our light oil is just kinda gonna be chilling in there. I also added some oil buffers for each of our oil things. So like this buffer is obviously running out. I added some just manually supplied turrets there, just like I have right there. And then over here, I harvested the copper node. The copper node is making ammunition, and then the ammunition goes to the turrets that are keeping this oil outpost nice and safe. So next time, our next goal is going to be the Tier 2 Jumpstart Mall. So the Tier 2 Jumpstart Mall has a new smelting stuff, as well as some new manufacturing bits, and this one I actually did do one in its entirety, so that I know exactly where I need to put it. It has 686 total facilities in it, which I think is quite substantial. But essentially what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to put it here just like this, and then we will be able to use all of the materials that it creates in order to make all of our new stuff. Specifically in the Tier 2 Jumpstart Mall is drones. The little drone guys, the drone supply, proliferation, and then some processing units and solar power as well, of course. So that is going to be on the chopping block for next time, but that is going to wrap up this episode now that we have our red cubes. So thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, but without further ado, adios, sayonara, au revoir, hasta la vista, das vidania, vidizien, ciao, and goodbye. Please have yourselves a fantastic rest of your day. Get some sleep if you need to. Don't forget to stay hydrated. This video is in the bag, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later, y'all.